Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. Good evening. Ganana Tvam Ganapatim Vamahe Kavi Mamupamashravashtanam Jyestarajam Brahmanas Patanana Srivanuti Siddha Sadhanam Om Ganapataye Namaha Om Ganapataye Namaha Om Ganapataye Namaha Om Vrishabham Charsaninam Vishwarupa Madhavyam Brihaspatim Varenyam. Three different sections here on YouTube, here on Facebook, and here on TikTok. Today I'm going to be talking about the moon, its influence upon you, what the moon does, how the moon influences you, and how the influence of the moon, if understood properly, you'll be able to live a life without being worried. You see, a lot of us, we don't know that 99% of our existence is influenced by the moon. This is a fact. This is a fact. 99%, 99% of everything you do is influenced by the moon, including your own free will. That thought or that thing that you considered as free will is also influenced by the moon. Everything about your life, everything about your existence, everything about how you are leading your life or how you are not leading your life is all based on the influence of the moon. Now, a lot of us, we might find it very, very strange that how can the moon, how can it influence our destiny? But it is important, it is very, very important that we understand that there is no existence without the presence of the moon. There is no existence without what? The presence of the moon. There is existence because there is the presence of the moon. The moon is the one that is in charge of the continuous creation, continuous procreation in the life of human. The moon is the one that is in charge of populating this earth. And because the moon is the one that is in charge of populating this earth, actually, before we speak about the moon, it is very, very important that we give reverence to the moon. So I want you to repeat this mantra after me wherever you are, because it is important. You cannot just speak about the moon just like that. You have to give reverence to the moon. So wherever you are, that you are listening to the sound of my voice right now, I want you to fold your hand like this. Let us give reverence to the moon. Fold your hand like this. You may understand whatever I'm saying, or you may not understand it. Still, it is not a problem. Just fold your hand like this and repeat after me. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. This is we giving reverence to the moon. You see, before the creation of time, if you look into the different religion that has existed in the creation of the universe, the first form of worship was the worship of the moon. The first form of worship was what? The worship of what? Of the moon. In ancient Egypt, you hear that they worship the sun god, but they also worship the moon. Actually, the most predominant form of worship in ancient Egypt is the worship of the moon. Now, why is the worship of the moon most important? The worship of the moon is most important because it is the moon that serves as the one that maintains this material creation. How does the moon maintain the material creation? The moon maintains the material creation because everything that you do on this material world is based on the moon. What is called the illusion of the moon. It is called, Aruda. Aruda. Aruda means an illusion, that which is not real. Everything you are seeing right now is simply nothing but an illusion. And what is it? What is making you to have that illusion? It is based on the influence of the moon. When you look at the mirror and you look at the mirror reflecting yourself back to you, is that really you that you are seeing? So moon is like that illusion, that chaya, that illusion that blinds everybody from really seeing the reality of what life is. And because moon is that illusion that covers everybody, and we don't really see that which we really are, and hence people keep asking. Most often when I come on live, a lot of people, majority of the question they ask is, I want to know myself. I want to know who I am. I want to know my purpose. I want to know what am I supposed to be doing in life. Now understand that yourself is influenced by the moon. Who you are, what you portray yourself to be, is not who you really are. What you are portraying to people is nothing but the illusion of the moon. When you see a person and you hear, you be like, you feel that, wow, this person is speaking so very nicely. Like right now I am speaking to you guys. What you are seeing right now is simply nothing but colors. Are you understanding? What you are seeing right now is nothing but just colors. Colors, colors, colors. You are not really seeing me. Are you understanding? You are not really, really, truly, you are not seeing me. What you are only seeing right now is nothing but just colors. But because of the influence, the illusion of the moon, your mind is translating that colors to be an image. And because your mind is translating that color to be an image, now I am speaking to you also. You are hearing what you are hearing right now is not actually my voice. What you are hearing right now is simply nothing but sound, air, air. That is what you are hearing, air that is coming from my esophagus, that is coming from my pipe. That is what you're hearing. But the presence of the moon in your mind, the presence of the moon in your life, creates an illusion in your mind whereby you now translate that sound, that air that you are hearing, to mean a sound, and now that sound to mean a word, that word to have a sentence. And we're like, oh, okay, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. A dog is talking, if a dog is barking to the other dog, you don't understand what the dog is saying, but the fellow dog is understanding what it is saying. Are you understanding? So similarly, everything that you are hearing right now is simply nothing but just air. You are hearing the sound of my voice. It is nothing but just air, but your mind is giving a transmission, is giving a translation to that air, that air means something. This is the illusion of the moon. When you are, like I said again before, when you are looking, what you are seeing right now is not really me. It looks like I am in front of you, but I am not in front of you. What you are seeing right now is nothing but the illusion of the moon that the moon is reflecting. Where there is a light, there is a shadow. Like right now, there is this light that is facing me, but here that this light is facing me right now, there is a point that this light is not reaching, and that point is called the shadow. A point where the light, the reflection of the light does not reach. It is called a shadow. That is the real you. But because of the influence of the moon, because of the illusion of the moon, when people see us, people perceive us as, wow, this is such a beautiful person. That is the influence of the moon. When you see a person, the moon gives you the moon makes you to perceive the person as the person is like this, the person, it is all based on the influence of the moon, the aruda of the moon. The influence of the moon is the image at which you portray to the society. Your image that you portray is not the real you. It is just an image that you are projecting. And every one of us is projecting an image. Somebody is projecting the image of an intelligent person. Someone is projecting the image of a teacher. Someone is projecting the image of a father. Someone is projecting the image of a lover. Someone is projecting the image of a thief. Someone is projecting the image of a strong person. Someone is projecting the image of a wealthy person. So every one of us, we are all projecting an image. And what is it? What is it that is making us to project this image? The influence of the moon. And because we are projecting this image, it is not really us. It is not really us. And that is why you will see a person is projecting the image of a very intelligent person, of a very happy person, but then at the back at the back, the person is very, very sad. Are you understanding? That side that you don't see, that is the real you, and that is where the shadow lies. Are you guys getting my point? So when the moon, a lot of us, the moon is projecting an image. Everyone is using the light of the moon to project an image. And the image that you project is not necessarily you. Some people might project the image of a very good husband, a very good wife, like you see them on the internet. Everybody on the internet is projecting an image. When you take a phone and you take a picture of yourself, what you are doing is that you are trying to project an image that you aren't. And that is what the moon is. That is the Aruda. It is called, in Sanskrit, it is called Aruda Lagnam. This place where the reflection of the moon is being projected. That image that is being projected. Every one of us is projecting an image. The question is, what image are you projecting? Some of us, we project an image that even we ourselves, we don't know how this image is being projected. You're walking on the street and people are like, wow, I don't know, but I feel like you're a very intelligent man. It is an image that is being projected. A lot of us, we are all, this is what is happening. Now, some of us, we get stuck in this image that we live in denial of our real self. Now, that is the illusion of the moon. That is the confusion of Rahu, of this planet called the Rahu. So when you look at yourself, you're walking on the road, people looking at you, you are looking at people, you walk confidently or you don't walk confidently. Everything is all about an image. And what is responsible for the image that you project? It is the moon. Without the moon, there is no image. When a person dies, the image of the person dies. When a person dies, what is it that goes down in the life of that person? Is it the person that really dies, or it is the image that dies? The image is what dies. And what is that image? That which you are projecting. So when they say a person has died, oh, this person has died. Who is the person that died? Is it the name? The name does not die, but the image dies. The image that is being projected with that name is what dies. And that is the influence of the moon. The moon is responsible for the creation and for the procreation of life. When the moon in a man and a woman, the moon fluctuates in a man and a woman. When the moon gets to a certain degree in a man, when the moon becomes full in a man, that man starts finding, when the moon becomes full in a man, that man becomes very, very attractive to women. Women find that man attractive. You can also look at it in your own personal life. To any of you that is married here, or to any of you that is in a living-in relationship here, it is not every time that you find your spouse or your girlfriend attractive. It's not every time. In a month, you guys stay together in a month, but it is not every time in that month that you find her attractive or that you feel like you want to really get closer to her. You guys might be communicating, living together in the same house, doing the same thing, managing, staying everything together and everything. But it is not every time that you guys feel like, let us become close. It doesn't happen. It only happens when the moon becomes full. If the moon becomes full in the woman, the man becomes attracted to the woman. When the moon becomes full in the man, the woman becomes attracted to the man. This is the reality. What is it that influences your sexual attraction to each other? It is the moon. When the moon becomes full in the woman becomes lusty towards the husband or towards the boyfriend, and she start touching the boyfriend like, "I want you to come now. Why don't you come? Let us do something together." And in the man, when the moon becomes full in the woman, the man becomes attracted to the woman, and he starts touching the woman. He starts wanting to, wants to get closer to the woman, wants to become intimate with the woman all of a sudden becomes very attractive to him. And sometimes you'll be like, "I don't know, but I find you very, very attractive today. What is it? What is happening? You are just so attractive to me today." It is because the moon becomes full in the woman. And when the moon becomes full in the man, the woman also start finding the spouse attractive. That is the same thing that happens to each and every one of us. When you're walking on the road and you see somebody, and all of a sudden you become very attractive towards that person. It is based on the influence of the moon on that person that you get attracted to. For a child to be born in a family, for a child to be released through the semen and put into the womb of the mother, it is based on the influence of the moon. In a family, between a husband and a wife, when the moon does not rise in between the two of them, then there is no attraction. Are you guys, please? I want you to really listen. In a family, or between a husband and a wife, when there is no moon, when the moon is not full or is not shining its light in that family, then there is no attraction. There is no attraction. They may be married, they may be staying together in the same house. That is why you will see in some relationship, the husband and the wife, they stay together in the same house, but there's no sexual attraction with each other. It's like the husband does not see the wife. It's like the husband does not what? Does not see the wife. And sometimes it's like the wife also does not see the husband, because what is it that makes you to become attractive to the other person? What is it that makes you to be attracted to the other person for sexuality or everything? It is the moon. So a lot of people keep praying, "Oh God, give me, I don't know why my husband is not loving me. My husband is not loving me the way he should love me, or my wife is not loving me the way she should love me." It is because the moon is weak in your life or in the life of your wife. And that is why that attraction, that feeling that you expect from her or that you are expecting from him is not being reciprocated because of the influence of the moon. And that is why it is said in ancient days, when a woman and a man wants to get married, the first thing that they check is, how is the influence of the moon on both people? Is the influence of the moon okay with the both of them? If the influence of the moon is not okay with the both of them, they don't allow such marriage. And that is also the reason why you will see in a relationship, the man is married to the wife is sitting on the bed, the wife is sleeping on the bed, but the man is watching pornography. Are you listening to me with emotion, not with intelligence, not with emotion? That is why you will see in a relationship, the man is married to the wife is there, but he's not the sexual fantasies he have is not towards his wife, but he's watching pornography. Are you understanding? The same thing also for a woman. The woman is there, the husband is there, but she's not having this sexual attraction towards him, but she's watching pornography. She's watching pornography. Why? What is creating this? Why is it that when people, let us talk about this, when people watch pornography, what is it that they are really watching? Yes, they are looking at images, that is a fact, but what is stimulating those images in them? It is based on the influence of the moon. The moon influences everything you do relating to your emotion, your sexuality, everything. The moon. When the moon is not properly balanced, Again, let us speak about something else. Have you met people, or have you seen people that they don't have the sense of discrimination? They don't know how to discriminate. There are certain women, they don't know how to say no to people. And that is why they get into relationship, the man takes advantage of them, and they don't want the relationship, they don't want to do anything with the person, but they don't know how to tell the person no. They don't know, because of the influence of the moon. The influence of the moon. And also, that is also why you will see there are certain women, when you meet them, or similarly also to men, when you meet them, they don't know how to talk. When they talk, it's like they're attacking you. Huh? When they are talking, their talk is like an attack to you. It's based on what? The influence of what? Of the moon. The moon is more powerful, than the sun. It is a fact. A lot of people. I don't know. Some time ago, I was trying to explain to somebody, and I was telling the person. The person was like, "No, the sun is most powerful." I was telling, "No, the moon is more powerful, because the sun is the father, but it is the moon that is the mother. That is what nurtures the emotion." So everything that is happening in your relationship, how your relationship is good, how your relationship is not good, how you are able to conceive of a child. Let me also let you understand one thing right now. When the moon is full, when it is a full moon, and you have sexual relationship with your wife, you are going to give birth to a female child. And when the moon, you understand that the moon has 7 phases. 7 phases. It has 7 phases. There's 7 phases of the moon. And because there are 7 phases of the moon, it rises from waxing to waning, and from waning to waxing. This is how the moon moves. 7 weeks it's rising, 7 weeks it is waning. 7 weeks it is getting its power, and for 7 days it is getting its power, and for 7 days it is losing its power. In a month, the moon passes through this period in a month, every month. So 2 weeks the moon comes out, stays for 2 weeks in a month. So for 1 week it is getting its power, and for 1 week it is losing its power. For 1 week, your mind is stable, and for 1 week your mind is unstable. How? Your mind is influenced by the different movement of the moon. As the moon is losing its power, you are losing your emotion. Your emotional stability is losing. As the moon is getting its power, you are becoming emotionally stable. A person that is born when the moon is losing its power, such a person, they don't have the sense of right discrimination. Are you understanding? Are you guys hearing? Thank you very much, Empress. Are you guys hearing? A person that is born when the moon is losing its strength, such a person, they don't have the strength or the ability to discriminate. And that is why you will see some certain people, their nature is just very innocent. They are very intelligent, but they have this innocence. Like they keep smiling, they're just innocent. It is the moon. And a person also that the moon is influencing, there is what is called the Shukla Paksha, and there is what is called the Krishna Paksha. Thank you very much, Empress. The Shukla Paksha period is when the moon is waning, sorry, is waxing, is gaining, is rising from low, and is gaining its strength. And the Krishna Paksha period is when the moon is going from strength and is losing all of its strength. These are the period, and these are the 2 phases. You see, the phases of the moon, when you look at the moon has 2 horns. Mm. The moon has 2 horns. And these 2 horns of the moon, the 2 horns of the moon faces the left and the right. Let me see if I can give a picture description of the 2 horns of the moon and how they face. Let's see if I can give a picture description of the moon. I don't know. Have you guys observed this? Have you seen it in the temples or in places? Let me see if I can get a better paper to give you guys a proper description of the two faces of the moon. The moon waxes from left to right, and wanes from right to left. Have you seen the horn of a cow before? Can you guys see this? Can you see this? Can you see? Do you see? Do you see this? These are the two horns of the moon. The moon waxes, it gains its strength from left to right and loses its strength from right to left. These are the two faces of the moon. From here, the moon is waxing. From here, the moon is waning. It's losing its strength. And if you look, the problem with us is that a lot of us, we don't look up to the sky. Are you understanding? We don't look up to the sky. That is our problem. We don't observe the sky. We don't observe the night sky. All of us, every one of us, we are so focused living our life on the surface here that we don't look up to the stars and see what is happening in the stars, how the stars and the movement of the planet, how it is moving. We don't do that. And this is a very simple thing. If you look into the mosque, if you look in the mosque, I don't know, you guys, I'm going to give you two examples right now. Have you seen the picture of Shiva? If you look at the picture of Shiva, you will see that the Shiva has a crescent moon on on his head, right? Now, if you also look at the mosque, if you look at the mosque, you will see that in the mosque also there is a crescent moon on the mosque. What do you think that crescent moon represents? Now, the crescent moon faces two different directions. Some crescent moon faces the left, and some crescent moon faces the right. If the crescent moon is facing the right, like when you wake up and you see the crescent moon is facing the right, is from the right, is on the right side, that means it is a waxing moon. But if the crescent moon is on the left side, it is a waning moon. It is losing its power, or it has already lost its power, and then it is now a crescent. These are the two horns of the moon, which is also the Shukla Paksha and the Krishna Paksha. And now these two horns is held by a headless demon called Rahu. This headless demon holds these two horns, and works with it. Do you understand? So our emotion is triggered by by the movement of the moon. How wealthy you're going to become, how poor you are going to be. Your wealth has no meaning if you don't have proper emotional stability. A lot of people go, let me explain to you. When the moon loses its power, when the moon loses its light, that period where the moon loses its light is a period whereby there's total darkness in the mind of people. And because there is total darkness in the mind of people, the ability to discriminate between right action and wrong action becomes zero. And these are the period where a lot of people commit a lot of crimes. I want you to do this. I want you to go into your television news, listen to all the television newses, and see the period where you hear that somebody killed a person, someone committed a murder, someone did a suicide, someone raped a person, someone stole from a person, or somebody was shot, or there was a fight, and the fight there was some big exchange of weapons, or there's some negative thing happening. Go and look at it. At that period, it was a dark moon period, or the period whereby the moon is losing its power, or has truly lost all its power. That period where it is dark moon is also a period whereby the ancestors come to visit people. So within those phases where it is a dark moon, within those phases where the moon is dark, that is also the period whereby a lot of people become very, very depressive. Especially when the face of the moon is waning. those period people become very, very depressive. Those period the mind of people become very, very bad, and those are the period also where you have problem and fight with your spouse. In a month, there is always one period in a month that you are going to have a fight with your husband, or with your spouse, or with your girlfriend. The fight can be either brutal, or it can be that you guys are going to have some argument. It always happens in a month. This is to everybody. It is irrespective if the person is a spiritual person or not a spiritual person. It happens to everybody. Why? Because your relationship itself, it stands on the benefits, on the beneficence of the moon. Are you guys understand it? It stands on what? The beneficence of the moon. At the same time, also, you will see that in that period of the moon, where the moon is waxing, when the moon starts waxing, gaining strength, those are the period whereby you will feel that in your mind there's this less tension. But when the moon starts losing its strength, that is the period in a month. This happens every month to everybody. Every month to everybody. That period also, when the moon starts losing its strength, that is the period where you start feeling that there's this a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure upon you. There's a lot of stress upon you, either stress in your place of work, stress at home, or you even it can also be financial stress, but you just feel this stress upon you, or people calling you, you need to come and pay this debt, or you need to do this, you need to do that. There's this stress. Mm. There's this stress upon you. Why? Because of the influence of the moon. Mm. Because of what? The influence of the moon. So, and this is also one of the reasons why you must always pray to the moon. A lot of us, we don't pray to the moon because we are thinking that we have to pray to God. But do not forget also, the moon is there. The moon is there. And this is the mistake a lot of us we do. We don't pray. We don't pray. When we pray, a lot of us, we are thinking that praying to the moon means that the moon is going to give us, and so many people right now, they are doing so many things that is confusing so many people. Oh, this is a hunter moon. This is a red moon. This is a dark moon. This is a blue moon. This is a lion moon. This is a goat moon. This is all confusion. The moon is the moon. Are you understanding? This is all confusion. It shows nothing but the confusion in the mind of people. Oh, this is a blood moon, dark moon, yellow moon, hunter moon, violet moon. This is all confusion that people are spreading, and unfortunately, a lot of people are buying into this because they themselves, they don't know anything. And most often I get questions from people like, "Oh, what can I do today? It is a hunter moon. What can I do? It is a moon of lion, a lion moon. Come on, come on, come on, man. Ah, the moon is the moon. Do you understand? The moon is the moon. But the point that you must understand is, it is important that we pray to the moon, because that is what maintains our emotion. If the tides of the ocean is influenced by the movement of the moon, your mind itself is a water. Your mind itself is made of water, and because it is made of water, it is influenced by the movement of the moon. So the tides of your mind, the tides of your emotion, goes up and comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Just like when you go to the seaside, you see that the waves of the ocean goes back, and then brrr, it comes forward again. It goes back, and then brrr, it comes forward again. Why? Because it is all being influenced by the moon. Everything is influenced by the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. 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 It's all influenced by the moon. Everything. How you are able to even explain yourself, express yourself, is all influenced by the moon. Your face, your smile, your emotion, how everything that you have is all influenced by the moon. So when people do prayers to the moon, the essence of you doing prayers to the moon is not that the moon should make you become a millionaire. A lot of people have these mistakes thinking that praying to the moon is going to solve their problem. No. Actually, the moon also punishes people. The moon uh, also punishes people. The sun does not punish, the sun kills. The essence of the sun is to kill. Ah, the essence of what? Of the sun is to do what? Is to kill. But the essence of the moon is to punish you. And how does it punish you? It punishes you with your emotion. When your emotion is unstable, all of a sudden you start feeling angry. You're just angry. You're irritated for no reason. Do you know what is creating that? Even to your spouse, you will see your spouse, it looks like it is not even your spouse. Or you just feel irritated with your spouse. And this is the same spouse in that same period of that month, you feel like you want to be with her, you want to have relationship with her, you want to do everything with her. But then that same spouse, within a period of a few weeks, you feel irritated with her. It is because of the influence of the moon. In a marriage where the moon is not properly appreciated, where the moon is not properly praised, in a marriage where the moon is not full for both parties, that marriage is going to break. That marriage don't last. Such a marriage does not last. Such a marriage does not, it's problematic. Because for a marriage to stay, the number one ingredient is the moon. What does moon represent in a marriage? Compassion, empathy, compassion, being compassionate, being able to be compassionate. There are certain people, their moon is very strong, especially these are people that are born when the moon is waxing. No, no. These are people that are born when the moon is losing its strength, which is during the period whereby the moon is waning. People that are born around the 25th, people that are born around the people that are born around the 25th, people that are born around now, it depends on the month. Ah, it depends on the month. All right. It depends on the month. Some people, you may be born on the 25th, but that 25th might be a full moon period. So it depends on the month, because the influence of the moon, when the moon is full or when the moon is not full, is all different in each different days, in each different month. So I don't want to speak about the date because I don't want to generalize it. If I start speaking about this date, then some people might take it too seriously and they may start generalizing that, okay, if you are born this date, you are born this. No, no, no. The fluctuation of the moon, waxing or waning of the moon, it varies in different months. And understand that in the ancient days, the calendar was a lunar calendar, not a solar calendar. In this day and age, what we have is a solar calendar. That is what we have, and this started just some maybe some hundreds of years ago. But in the ancient days, the calculation of a day is not based on the sun; it is based on the moon. It is called a lunar calendar. Why a lunar calendar? A lunar calendar because it is the moon that is responsible for your existence on this earth, not even the sun. The sun is there to nourish your soul. The sun is just your soul. Your body is the vehicle. If you have a car, you have a car. The passenger in the car is not the one driving the car. It is the driver that owns the car. That is the one that drives the car. The passenger is just a passenger. So your moon, your soul is just a passenger in your body. And your soul is the sun, which is the passenger in this body. Are you guys hearing me? Are you hearing me? Your soul is the passenger in your body, and your body is the vehicle. And this vehicle is powered by the mind, and this mind is influenced by the moon. Are you hearing? Your soul is influenced by the sun. Your soul is influenced by the sun. It stays here. Your body is simply nothing but is simply nothing but the vehicle that the soul is inhabiting. So your soul is a passenger in this body. Is a passenger in this body. But what is it that is making the body to function? Is it because of the presence of the soul? No, it is because of the influence of the moon. The soul is a passenger. The soul actually does nothing. Everything that you are hearing right now, everything you are doing, when you are having a relationship with your spouse, when you are loving your children, you are hugging a person, everything that you are doing, you are only doing it based on the influence of the moon. Are you hearing? Everything you are doing them based on what? The influence of the moon. The moon. It is based on the influence of the moon. That is what you are doing. Everything. When you are having a relationship with your spouse or you are kissing, I'm sorry to be graphic, but it is important for knowledge. When you are hugging your spouse or you're hugging your girlfriend or you are having a conjugal relationship with your girlfriend, you are kissing your girlfriend and everything like that, what are you doing? When you are kissing your girlfriend and all of that, why do you close your eyes? Have you asked yourself a question like, why don't you just look at the eyes of the person and you are doing that? But why do you close your eyes? If you open your eyes to do such an activity, there's a disconnection. But why do you close your eyes? Why do you close your eyes to do such an activity? You close your eyes because at that moment, the influence of the moon is what helps you to trigger your imagination. Are you understanding? The moon is what helps you to trigger your imagination. Even when you are having a conjugal relationship with your spouse, when you're having a sexual, intimate relationship with your spouse, if you're either looking at your spouse or your spouse is looking at you, or your spouse is saying some words, to you, or is making some voices or some words to you, and that triggers something in you. What is it that is making the moon? What is it that is triggering those things? It is because of the influence of the moon, not the sun. The sun has nothing to do with all of that. Your sexual desire is influenced by the moon, everything. So it is important that we give reverence to the moon. A lot of us, we don't give reverence to the moon. Rather, we think that the moon, we are going to, let us do some full moon prayers. I see a lot of people say, I want to do full moon rituals. I want to do full moon rituals. I want to do full moon rituals. But you are doing it blindly. Because, full moon ritual, so I can win my enemies. No, the full moon does not help you to win over enemies. Are you hearing me? This is to all those full moon ritual, how do you call them? Full moon ritual addicts. Some people are very addicted. I want to do full moon ritual. Full moon ritual. Yeah. They are addicts of full moon ritual. Since you've been doing that full moon ritual, let me ask you a question. Has your life changed? Huh? Answer me truthfully. Have your life changed? Your emotion, is it not still the same? You still don't get angry? You still don't feel emotional depressed? You still don't feel this period of sadness in your life? You still don't feel all of that? Because if you still feel all of this, that is because you are not, the essence of a full moon ritual is not to make things okay for you. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing? Are you hearing with intelligence, not with emotion? The essence of the full moon, to do prayers to the full moon or do rituals to the full moon, is not to make all your problems go away. The full moon has nothing to do with that. Actually, the moon is responsible for you to have more problems. I spit it out of my mouth. Even right now that I'm speaking to you, however I'm able to speak to you and put my emotion in whatever I'm saying, it is based on the influence of the moon. And the moon influences different people differently. Are you understanding? Are you hearing? The moon influences people differently. And because the moon influences people differently, the effect is also different. So, the essence of doing a full moon ritual, if you really want to do a full moon ritual, the essence of it is to ask, please help me to be truthful. Do you understand? When you do full moon rituals and you are not truthful, you are not going to see any positive result. Any positive result you're not going to get. Because even your rituals, whatever rituals you do, listen, oh, listen to me, oh, listen, oh, whatever rituals you do, however you do that ritual, there's one ingredient that you need for that ritual to become successful. And what is that? Your moon. Your moon, which is what? Your emotion. If you are doing prayers, if you are really doing prayers, you are closing your eyes, you are in a moment doing prayers or doing rituals or reciting mantras or whatever it is you're doing. What is it that makes you to feel that whatever I'm doing right now, it is very powerful? It is based on the influence of the moon. The moon influences even your prayers. Whatever prayers you do, the moon influences it. Everything you do, the moon influences it. So if you don't connect to the moon in the right way, you are going to make things difficult for yourself. When the moon is weak in a person's life, those are the period whereby people become a fool and they become cheated. And this happens in two phases. Two phases. Sometimes it is a fact. When the moon is weak in a person's life, that is when they become cheated. Now, when the moon is strong in a person's life, these people have a very strong emotion. Your emotion is influenced by the moon. How you are able to tolerate pain is influenced by the moon. There are certain people, when you touch them, they are able to tolerate the pain. They can tolerate pain. And certain people, pain and them, they are not friends. They cannot tolerate pain. Why? Ability to tolerate pain is based on the influence of the moon. Thank you very much, Mr. Blaze. Ability to tolerate pain is based on what? The influence of the moon. There are certain people, something happens to them, and they just keep shaking their head. Okay, all right, okay. And then there are certain people, when something happens to them, they just break down. They break down. They get depressed. They get shattered. Influence of the moon. Mm, the influence of the moon. So it is important that when you are doing prayers, if you are doing any prayers, your prayer should be to please the moon. Do you understand? Thank you very much, Mr. Blaze. Your prayer should be what? To please the moon. Your own moon. Because again, to every individual, the moon is on a different level. There are certain people, they don't have any emotion. Like they cannot feel empathy. Let me explain it to you one way. Understand this and understand very, very good. Very, very good. I want you to understand. There are certain people, after they get married, they cannot feel any emotion for their spouse. Even if the spouse is here, right here, and the spouse is crying, oh, my leg is paining me. Can you massage me? Can you do this? They cannot feel any emotion for the spouse. They can't. And they themselves, they don't know how to explain why they are not able to feel any emotion, for the spouse. And the spouse feels very bad. But that is based on the influence of the moon. Now, these same people, when somebody is outside and somebody is crying outside, oh, please, somebody help me. These same people will be quick to rush to help that person. They will be quick to rush to help the people that is outside, but when it concerns the people that is inside, especially their own spouse, they don't know. Some people don't know how to show emotion of care to their spouse. It's not that they don't really love their spouse. They love their spouse. They want to be with their spouse, but they don't know. They just don't know how to share that emotion because the moon has frozen them. The nature of the moon naturally is to be caring. That is the nature of the moon. The nature of the moon naturally is to be what? To be caring. That is the nature of the moon. But when the moon is under a negative influence, especially if it is passing through a negative phase, then the moon loses the ability to care for people. And the emotion becomes dry. It becomes very, very dry. It is based on the influence of the moon. So when you are doing talking about full moon prayers, full moon rituals, if you are doing a full moon ritual, the point is to pray that the moon should help you to be truthful. Anybody that lies, anybody that lives a life that is filled with lies, those are the people that suffers the most on a full moon day. Anybody that lives a life full of lies, anybody that lives a life that is full of lie, they are the people that suffers the most on a full moon day. This is a fact. If anybody can prove me wrong here, I will give that person. I don't know. I don't want to pronounce. I don't want to pronounce anything because But I want somebody to prove me wrong here. It is a fact. What I'm telling you right now is a fact. Those people that lie or those people that make their money wrongly are the ones that suffer the most on a full moon day. They are emotionally destabilized. On a full moon day, they get heavily suffering. If you get emotionally depressed on a full moon day, you look at your life, you've did some certain things, or you've uttered some certain lies, or you've lived a certain life that is not proper. And that is why on a full moon day, the moon is going to torture you. Because the moon is Satya. Satya means truth. That is the moon. The moon is what? Satya. Satya means what? Truth. That is the moon. Satya means truth, and that is the moon. Truth, 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 truth. When there is no truth, when there is deception, then the moon punishes people. The moon punishes people. It punishes people heavily, heavily. And that is why anybody that have met me and I've met anybody, I always emphasize on one thing: just be truthful. Just be what? Just be truthful, so that you don't get the punishment of the moon. People that are not truthful to themselves are the ones that get heavily punished on a full moon day. You just be truthful, because the moon is connected to the image that you project to the people. That image you project. Every one of us is projecting an image. And now, what is it that is projecting that image to people? It is the moon. The moon is the image projector. Every one of us is projecting an image. And because we are all projecting an image, we are not what we say we are. And that is why a lot of people get heavily punished on a full moon day. So on a full moon day, you should pray, my dear. You should pray. Take a bowl, fast throughout that day. On a full moon day, fast fully. Do not drink any water. Do not eat any food. Just fast. Fast. It is difficult, but fast. And then 7 p.m., when the moon has risen in the sky, try to catch the reflection of the moon and pray, please let me be truthful. Let me be what? Let me be truthful. Help me to be truthful. Anybody that is truthful, such a person gets protected by the universe itself. Help me to be truthful to myself, to be truthful to the people around me, to be truthful to the things that I say. We get punished when we are not truthful. That is simply nothing but the reality. That is what it is. Ah, ah. So truthfulness, 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 truthfulness. That is what the moon represents. A lot of people want to embody the moon, but their life is not in accordance to that. So a lot of people trying to portray the purity, a lot of people, they try to portray the purity of the moon. A lot of people, they try to portray the purity of the moon. So what do? They dress in white. They wear white clothes and everything. They're like, oh, me, I'm a child I'm a clean child, or I'm a pure child, but their activity is dirty. Their activity is dirty. That is their activity. It is dirty, dirty. But they wear clothes. They wear white clothes every time. Oh, me, I'm white. They wear white clothes, but their activity is dirty. Such people get heavily tormented. Those people get disturbed in their marital life. Marital life, they get heavily disturbed because of the moon. So, how is the moon connected to your destiny? From the moment you were born, actually, not just from the moment you were born, from the moment you were put into your mother's womb, the moon has been influencing you. How you are able to fertilize in your mother's womb is based on the influence of the moon. How you are going to grow in your mother's womb is based on what? The influence of the moon. When you were just a semen, and you were put into your mother's womb, how you grow, how you did not grow, is based on what? The influence of the moon. The kind of a mother you have, the kind of a mother you have, the kind of emotion you are going to share with your mother or your mother is going to share with you is based on what? The influence of the moon. And the ancestors are also connected to the moon. Do you understand? The ancestors are also what? Connected to the moon. The ancestors are also connected to the moon. The ancestors are also connected to the moon. The ancestors are also connected to the moon. And that is why the ancestors come to visit you every dark moon night. Mm. That is why they come to visit you every dark moon night, because the moon is the portal. It is the portal. The moon is the emperor of this earth. The moon is the emperor. No one, not one single soul, not one single soul can come to the present to be can be put in the mother's womb without the presence of the moon. I'm gonna be very, very I am going to be very, very graphic right now, but I want you to hear me. I'm going to be very graphic right now, but I want you to hear me because it is for knowledge. When a man and a woman get intimate, when a man and a woman get intimate and the man releases the semen into the woman, how the body of the woman accepts the semen is based on the influence of the moon. Did you hear me? Should I repeat myself again? Should I repeat it again? Should I repeat it again? How, when a man and a woman have a sexual relationship, how the body of the woman, how the body of the woman accepts the semen is based on what? The influence of the moon. There are some people, the moon is very weak in their life. Women that the moon is very weak on them, when the husband releases the semen into the woman, the semen immediately comes out of the woman. Immediately, the moment the semen is released inside, the semen does not stay. It immediately comes out. Why? Because the moon is weak in the woman. And this is also one of the things that creates difficulty in being able to have a child. A woman struggling to have a child is based on the influence of the moon. Similarly, I don't know, maybe I should say this or not. I don't know. I think I should not say it. I think maybe I should just I think I should leave it like this. Let me know. Let me not say too much. Let me not say too much. Uh, uh, let me not say too much. Hmm? Let me not say too much. I don't want any wahala. I don't want any wahala. Similarly, when a man is having a relationship with a woman, the kind of communication, the kind of things that the man thinks about or speaks about is based on the influence of the moon. And that is what shapes the nature of the child. That is what shapes the character of the child. If a child is born, if a child is born or a woman conceive of a child when it is a dark moon night, that child is going to give a lot of problem to the parents. Never have sex, never you have sexual relationship when it is a dark moon night. Never. I said it before. I said that when a woman have sexual relationship with her husband and it was a full moon, that woman will certainly give birth to a female child. Certainly, she will definitely give birth to a female child. So, to so many people that are struggling, they want to have a female child. They are trying to have a female child. They are not able to have a female child. It's very simple. Wait until when it is the next full moon of your or of the next full moon in your location, and also the next full moon in your wife, because the moon is also what influences the ovulation in a woman. So when the moon is full in her and the moon is also full, you can see the full moon, then you do whatever you want to do. If that woman gets pregnant, that pregnancy will definitely 100% become a female child. But then if you want to have a male child, a lot of us that are male children, we were born when the moon was still waxing. We were born when the moon was still what? Still waxing. Yeah. Do you guys understand? Let me remove my watch. It's heavy. Do you guys understand? So, how does the moon influence your destiny? Everything about your destiny is based on the moon. Everything. Everything about your destiny is based on the moon. There is nothing about your destiny. Because what is your destiny? Your destiny is simply nothing but your emotion. How, if you have a lot of money, how do you spend that money? It is your emotion. If you have a new thing, how do you make that thing? How is that thing worthy? It is the emotion that you attribute to that thing that is what makes it useful. So your financial stability, how finance if you have a lot of people, they have millions of money but they don't have emotion. And because they don't have emotion, they cannot enjoy the money. How you are able to enjoy whatever you have is based on your emotion. Ah, how you are able to enjoy whatever you have is based on what? Your emotion. Because your emotion is what makes you to enjoy whatever it is you have. Without your emotion, you cannot enjoy anything. You cannot get satisfaction from anything. And that is why you will see some people, they don't really have that emotion. So no matter what you do for them, they will always feel like you're not doing anything for them because the moon is very weak in them. And that is why they will like, you're not doing anything. No matter how much you break your head, there are people, and I'm telling you guys right now, so you understand. There are certain people, no matter how much you break your head for them, how much you go to the to the highest degree, for them, no matter whatever you do for them, they will always feel like you've not done anything for them. Why? Because their moon is very weak. To such a people, just give a distance. Else, they are going to suck you. They will suck you. They will suck everything out of you. No matter whatever you do for them, they will never be satisfied because their moon itself is very weak. And this is when the moon is waning. This is when the moon is waning from right to left. Do you understand? So you will see people like that. You will see men like that. You will see women like that. Because what is it that makes you to be satisfied with whatever you have? It's based on the influence of the moon. If you have one small thing like this, and you are, oh, I have this little thing, oh, I'm very grateful. I have this thing, wow, wow. It is based on the influence of the moon. The moon is what influences your happiness. The moon is what influences your happiness. And also, there are some people, they have this one thing, but they, oh, look at what I have, but look at what that person have. If the moon is not strong, you cannot enjoy anything. You cannot be satisfied with anything. It is a fact. So the moon influences your destiny because your destiny is connected with your emotion. If you have billions of money, but you don't have the emotion to reciprocate with that billions of money, then it is not a money. It is the emotion that you have, even if you have only $1,000, but if your emotion is right, that $1,000 looks like millions of dollars for you. It is a fact. It is a fact. And this is what a lot of spiritual people are trying to cultivate in people. Do you hear me? This is what a lot of spiritual people, a lot of pastors are trying to cultivate. What a lot of pastors are doing right now is just trying to give you words to help you increase your moon. Because when your moon is increased, then you become positive. Then you look at life in a positive way. But when your moon is weak, you see life in a negative way. You see life in a pessimistic way. So a lot of people, a lot of preachers, a lot of pastors, whichever they are, motivational speakers and everything, is to they try to speak to trigger you everything that is being said is to trigger your emotion, because how do we react to whatever people say to us? Is it not our emotion? Your emotion is influenced by what? The moon. Do you understand? Ah. Our emotion is triggered by what? The moon. And there are certain talks that we hear, be like, wow, what is this? That is the moon. Even right now that I'm speaking to you guys, and be like, my God, what is this person saying? It is making sense. How have I not thought about this? That is the moon in you. Ah, that is the moon in you. The moon. That is a fact. Ah, that is a fact. And this is connected to your destiny. So on a full moon day, you should pray. Pray for truthfulness. Don't pray for money. Don't pray that all your problem goes away. The moon is not going to take away all your problems. Rather, the moon will bring more problems to you. The moon is not going to take away all your problems. Rather, the moon will bring more problems to you. So you should pray that you should be truthful. Help me to be truthful. Help me to be honest. That is what you should pray on a full moon day. And on a dark moon day, you should also pray. Because on a full moon day, the moon enhances and heightens everything that is good about you, it heightens it, and everything that is bad about you, it heightens it. Well, heightens. You guys understand what I mean by heightens? It brightens it. If you have a lot of bad nature, the moon is going to increase it on a full moon day. If you have a lot of good nature, the moon is going to increase it on a full moon day. And that is why you see on a full moon day, people become very, very lusty. They become very lusty. They want to have and understand the moon, the influence of the moon starts as from 5 p.m. Not as from midnight. A lot of people think it is from midnight, so the influence of the moon is going to start. No, as from 5 p.m. 5 p.m. When the sun has gone down, or when the sun has just set. That period where the sun has just set, and the moon is just trying to start rising up, at that period, that is when the influence of the moon starts, because that is when people want to enjoy. ah that is when the lustiness in people becomes heightened, and it continues like that. And that is why that period, that is when you are walking on the street, you're going to see somebody, your mind will be towards that person. Wow, look at this person. It is also the same period whereby you are walking on that road, but then the mind becomes preoccupied with some bad thoughts or good thoughts, whichever thought, because the moon, I said, it heightens whatever it is that you have inside of you. Do you understand? It heightens it. So you pray that the moon help you to be truthful. On a full moon day, pray for truthfulness. On a dark moon day, avoid eating any meat, any fish, any goat, don't drink any alcohol on a dark moon day. Don't. Avoid it. If you are a meat eater, you are a fish eater, you are a smoker, you are an alcoholic person, whichever form you are, on a dark moon night, on a dark moon day is the day you should avoid this. Just one day in a month. Just one day in a month. Avoid this. When you avoid this, then you avoid the curse of the moon. Because the moon is cursing us. The moon does not kill you, but the moon curses you because it curses you, and that curse goes to different lifetimes. Because for you to reincarnate, it is also based on the influence of the moon. Ah, for you to reincarnate and have another life is based on what? The influence of the moon. Is dark moon. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop here and let me see if there are some questions to attend to. All right, so let me start from Facebook first. From Facebook, there's a question by Mr. Blay, and it says, "Please, are there mantras for the moon?" Yes, there are, and that mantra is what I just said right now. No, it's not. I didn't say it right now. I've said it before, and that is Om. So you can just simply say Om Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, or you can just simply say Om Chandraya Namaha. Just recite this mantra of Chandra. Om Chandraya Namaha. You can recite that. All right. So, are there any questions here on TikTok? L Itu Maitu says, how do you change? How do you change the influence of the moon that is negative? By being truthful. That is the only way. By being truthful. That is the only way you can change the influence of the moon. By being truthful. Anybody that is truthful protect 13 generations after him. It is a fact. 13 generation after such a person is protected for one person that is truthful. And 13 generation after the person is also protected for one person that is truthful. El Mungo says, when is dark moon night? It passed a few days ago on the 14th or this 15th was a dark moon night. So it passed already. So right now the moon is in its waxing period because the moon it has passed from dark moon, now it is going to full moon. So yeah. Is dark moon same as full moon day? No. Anita Koboy says, um, how do we know where the moon was when we were born? That is a topic for another day. Gymnastic lady, how do you know when it is dark moon? Then this is where you need to check the lunar calendar in your respective countries. A lot of us we only focus on the solar calendar, you know, but we should also try to have the lunar calendar, should have the lunar almanac. It is very, very important. Okay. But for your own respective country, because the moon phase in different countries is not the same. All right. Living is moon sign better than sun sign? Yes, because the sun sign only tells you the sun sign is more about your soul, but the moon is about your emotion. Because how do you exist on the surface of the earth? You are existing not because of anything, you are existing mainly because of your emotion, because that is what you use in relating with everything that you see in your life, emotion. So yeah, the moon is important. Both are important, but the moon is important. All right. Um Sam Doe says, I saw solar eclipse in my dream last night. I have no comment on that. That is not a good dream, but I have no comment on that. El Mungu says, okay, thank you. And the next full moon is lunar eclipse. And the next full moon is lunar eclipse. From where do you get such information that the next full moon is a lunar eclipse? Where do you get such information? Is that what the lunar calendar in your country is saying, or it is what you've heard from the internet? Hmm. The high priestess, what do you mean by being truthful? Example, when we talk of negative thought. Be truthful. Truth is truth. I don't think I need to explain that again. Truth is truth. Be truthful. It's as simple as that. Do I need to explain them? What do I mean by being truthful? Huh? Okay, there's a question here on YouTube. It says from Caesarina Austin. What about when you ovulating during the full moon, Baba? Then that is good. If a woman is ovulating during the full moon, and the husband impregnated her during the full moon, that child is going to be very, very brilliant. That child is going to be a bright star in the society. This is a secret I've told you right now. You want to have a child that is going to really influence the world. The sexual relationship should happen between the father and the mother on a full moon day. Then that child will be a star. That is a fact. That is a fact. Danielle on YouTube, Daniela Clotti. Hello, Daniela. Says, what's the implication of starting your period on a new moon day? Then the day it is not actually good. If a woman starts her monthly cycle on a dark moon day, it is not good. But anyway, it's gonna really affect their emotion that throughout that period the woman might always fight because that is the period whereby the ancestral portals is there, you know. But again, I strongly advise people do not have sexual relationship on a dark moon night. It is not good, especially when it is a known moon, you know. Do not have. New moon is a dark moon. New moon means a dark moon day, so don't. All right, so there's a question here on okay, uh golden prince Balaram says, okay, um okay, Mr. Blay says, thanks for the enlightenment, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Mr. Blay. Please, I'm 26th August. What's my influence of the moon? Again, like I said, I cannot say that because you are 26th of August that the moon is going to be. It depends. You should check the year you were born, check the year you were born, the date you were born, and the time you were born, and see where was the moon positioned as at the time you were being born. Was the moon rising or was it waning? So just saying 26th of August cannot really give us a concrete understanding of where the moon was, you know? Yeah. Um, Golden Princess. Is it good to place silver ornament under the moon to charge? How is the moon gonna charge the silver ornament? Where are you getting this from? How is the moon going to charge a silver ornament? Is there an electric cable to read that the moon is gonna charge an electric a silver ornament? Where are you getting all of this from? Ah, to charge it. So basically, what you're trying to say is to place the silver ornament underneath the full moon is to catch the reflection of the full moon. Is that what you're trying to say? For the full moon to catch the reflection of the full moon. Well, it catches the reflection of the full moon, but does not mean that it has the energy of the full moon. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay. Uh, so here on TikTok, official Tiara says, when is the next full moon? Well, I can only speak for the country that I am in. In the country that I am in, I know when the next full moon is, but you need to check in your own country. Check your country. Everybody, the full moon in every country is not the same. I might be seeing the full moon today, and you might be seeing the full moon 2 weeks after or 1 week after or 3 weeks before. So you have to check your country, check your lunar calendar for your country. A lot of people don't even know that there is a lunar calendar. This is the irony. A lot of people don't even know that there is a lunar calendar, but the lunar calendar is very, very important. All right, so check your country, check what is the lunar calendar in your country. Based on that, you're going to know the different phases of the moon and you can track it. All right. Felicity Mensa says, so Prabhu, what do we do on pendants and gemstones on full moon? So Prabhu, what do we do on pendant and gemstones on full moon? See, there's difference between there is a difference between doing business and being truthful. I'm a businessman, but also I'm a teacher. It is my duty to teach you the truth. Now it is left for you to see what you're going to do with that truth. A lot of people have come to meet me telling me they want to buy gemstones, and all of that. And I see a lot of people are very much crazed about wanting to have a gemstone. But gemstone does not really help you. I wear gemstones because it was a gift for me. It was given as a gift for me. So I wear it because if I don't wear it, the person that gave me the gift will not be happy, because the person took a lot of effort to give me the gift. But gemstone does not really help you. I'm going to speak according to the teachings of my teacher, because by that you will have the reality. I'm speaking my truth so that I don't get punished by the moon. A lot of people are very crazy. I want to wear gemstones. I want to wear this, put these gemstones on my body and everything like that. It is not going to change anything in your life. Why? Because gemstones is like taking a bribe. It's like giving a bribe, saying to the god or whatever that I know I'm not a good person, but just take this bribe. It's like using a bribe to pay off a debt, but still you are still in debt. That is what a gemstone is like, trying to use a bribe to bribe, you know, trying to take a bribe to bribe somebody, and for you to still have more debt. Hmm. The best is just be truthful. Do prayers with water and be truthful. There are certain rituals you can do. I'm more I my life is more into rituals. So a lot of people that have come to meet me, they will see that majority of what I do for them is more of rituals. I don't tell them go and wear this gemstone, go and wear this stone, go and wear that stone. I don't do that because from my years of experience, from my years of experience, I have seen a lot of people, they wear so many gemstones in their body, but their life is still the same. There's no change in their life. So I speak from experience. The best is to be truthful. You just do the rituals that is responsible, that is required. Every every deva, every full moon has every moon period has a ritual that can be done. You do rituals on those days. That is what helps you. All right. It's not using a bribe to pay a bribe. You get more debt. All right. So there's a question here on TikTok says that no, please, Goswami, please explain further. I mean, attracting the energy of the full moon on the ornament so that when it wears it, positive energy will flow. The positive energy of the full moon does not reflect on the ornament you wear, it reflects upon your mind. So, what you should expose to the full moon is not the ornament, it is your mind that you should expose to the full moon. Your mind, because actually this is not the ornament that gets anything, it is your mind that actually gets everything, because whatever we are wearing on our body, what is it that is making us to experience whatever it is we are experiencing with whatever it is we are wearing? Is it not the mind? Is it not our emotion that we are using to relate with everything that we are wearing? It's our emotion. So it is the mind that you should expose more. It's just like this. There are certain people, they paint the front of their house very beautiful. The front of their house is very beautiful. When you see the front of the house, you yourself will be like, my God, this house is so beautiful. But when you enter the house, it's a mess. So exposing a gemstone or exposing some silver items and all of that, thinking that that is going to protect the external, but the internal is not exposed for cleaning and protection, then it doesn't make sense. Do you understand, Mr. Balaram? Okay. All right. Is there any other question? Okay, guys, thank you very much. And yes, on this note, to all of you that is listening to the sound of my voice, I am going to be in Italy as from the 26th, or put it like the second week of November. I will be in Italy, and in Italy, I will be teaching African divination. Not just only teaching African divination, I will also be doing some divination and rituals for people in Italy. I will be doing some live astrological reading, to people, and I will be also guiding people. Whatever problems you have, I will be guiding you. What I'm bringing to the table is that I'm bringing my years of experience of counseling and speaking to different people from different parts of the world, and also the years of experience that I'm exposed to my teachers, to the teachings of my teachers. I'm bringing all of this fresh to the table. I will be in, and I will be in Italy in precisely maybe in Vicenza, and maybe a bit of Naples and a bit of Rome. I will be in these places, so I would love to see you if you're in Italy. Please do come meet us, or you can start pre-booking your appointment right now to meet me in Italy when I'm going to be in Italy. You can write on the number +230 5708 6629. I'm going to repeat it again. +230 5708 6629. Again, plus 230 5708 6629. I will be in Italy for some few days. And if you wish to meet me to have a personal reading, to have more deeper insight into everything that is happening in your life, you want to meet me to have more, understanding of everything that is happening in your life, then I will be in Vicenza. I will be in Rome also, and I'll also be in. I think I'll also be in Naples. I think so. I don't know yet, but I'll be in these places. So do come meet me wherever you are. Book your appointment and let us see you. I'll be happy to see you. All right. And if you wish to book an appointment with me, you can still write on the same number plus 230 5708 6629. If you want to book a personal reading with me, it's a paid service. Respect to Wegi. You understand? It's a paid service. Okay. Someone said, Felicity says, can you please teach us the water ritual? That will be for another day, another life. Okay. I'm not in the absence of every other question. I will have to leave you guys now so I can sleep on time and I can wake up on time for my own personal rituals and prayers. You guys are wonderful. I really, really appreciate all of you that are here, all of you that have been sending questions, all of you that have been typing, all of you that have been here from the very beginning, all of you that has joined and have left, all of you. I really, really appreciate all of you. May the Lord bless you all, but above all, may you live to see and experience millions and millions and millions and millions of full moon. This is my blessing to you. The moon was present when your father was born. The moon was present when when your father passed away or when he is going to pass away. The moon will still be present. When his great great grandfather was born, the moon was present. When his great great grandfather passed away, the moon was still present. That same moon, this same moon you see, was present. Was present. Even the time that your master Jesus that you are worshiping right now, when your master Jesus was born, the moon, that same moon that you see every day, was present. When your master Jesus was killed and crucified, the same moon was present, was the witnesser and observer of everything. He observed everything, he see everything. When you had your own child, the same moon was present. When your child is going to have their own children, the same moon will be present. When you are going to finally leave this world to another destination, the same moon is going to be present. So learn to give thanks to the moon. If you are in the night, wherever you are right now, if it is night, I want you to go outside, look up to the moon and say thank you. Learn to give thanks to the moon. Doing this gives peace to the mind. So, all good wishes to you, and may you all live to see millions and millions of full moon. Thank you. God bless you. So, join me next on Wednesday for my upcoming live. So, I do live 3 times in a week, which is on Wednesday, on Wednesday, on Saturday. Saturday, I do palm reading. So, if you want to have palm reading, you can join me on Saturdays. And I do palm reading on Saturdays, and on Sundays, Wednesdays and Sundays, I do teaching, and maybe on Friday I do maybe some question and answer. But thank you. You guys are wonderful. God bless you, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful night, or wonderful morning, or wonderful evening, wherever you are. God bless you. Bye bye. Signing out from YouTube first, and signing out on